We will rape you in this fashion. You should be raped in this fashion. You should be killed in this fashion.
Sexually explicit content and obscene remarks.
It's not the role of each woman individually to ensure their safety.
A recent study that was released by Amnesty International India has revealed a kind of harassment of Indian female politicians that was unheard of.
Lots and lots and lots of tweets about the color of my skin and my private parts, and all kinds of ugly abuse, combining misogyny with Islamophobia, and you name it. And then these are quite apart from the obvious rape and death threats.
Abuse experienced by Indian female politicians around the 2019 general elections was high. 13.8% of tweets, or 1 in every 7 tweets, was either problematic or abusive. This means on an average, each woman politician has received 113 problematic or abusive tweets every day. These range from physical and sexual threats, misogynistic comments, religious slurs, and casteist insults to homophobic and transphobic vitriol. Women politicians who were more prominent on Twitter were targeted more. Muslim women politicians received 94.1% ethnic or religious slurs than women from other religions. Women politicians who are scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and other backward classes received 59% more caste-based abuse compared to women from general caste.
India is one of the largest and fastest growing markets globally for Twitter. Twitter's harassment problem is out of control, and it's changing the way that we talk about free speech on the internet. Before we talk about what Twitter is, we should talk about what Twitter was supposed to be. In the preamble to its original rules, Twitter is stated, each user is responsible for the content he or she provides. We do not actively monitor and will not censor user content except in limited circumstances. Over the years, this social media platform has evolved into an indispensable tool for political engagement, campaigning, and activism. But has the vision translated into reality? You can tweet at whoever you want, meaning you don't need permission to talk to celebrities or politicians.
Twitter began as a radical experiment in free speech, but over time that experiment started to fall apart because the same features that made Twitter so attractive to citizen journalists and political dissidents also made it a perfect environment for trolls, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and misogynists.
Many women, especially journalists, politicians, and other public figures, have Twitter account out of professional necessity. But the cost of their participation in Twitter discourse is threats, attacks, and harassments.
My trolling is very predictable and it has not changed in the last 10 years. I'm called everything from a jihadi Jain to a sex slave, almost everything which has religion and my religious identity laced to it.
There was, as usual, the kind of trolling that everybody gets. I also, apart from people discussing and having long threads on Twitter on what kind of instrument they should use to rape me, whether it should be like a rose bush or whether it should be a steel rod, and it was a long thread, and people calling me all kinds of things and calling me a slut, bitch.
Many of the journalists, celebrities, and others left Twitter because of its inability to deal with harassments.
In 2015, former CEO Dick Costello told employees, "We suck at dealing with abuse and trolls, and we have sucked at it for years. The rest of the world talks about it every day. We lose core user after core user by not addressing simple trolling issues." Twitter must reaffirm its commitment to providing a safe space to women and marginalized communities. Until then, the silencing effect of abuse on the platform will continue to stand in the way of women's right to expression and equality. Twitter should ensure that the discrimination and abuse on the basis of gender, caste, religion, ethnicity, gender identity, sexual orientation, and other identifying factors does not prevent their users from exercising the right to freedom of expression equally on the platform. Importantly, it must constantly and transparently evaluate and measure whether it is tackling online abuse against women.